We open our drama with students sleeping in class while the mathematics teacher rumbles on. Only one student, Yu Jiamin, pays attention and takes notes. One would think he is the best student in the class, but ironically, he is not. All his life, Jiamin has aspired to be a good student. He has dedicated himself to his studies, attended online classes, studied independently, and even got a private tutor. Sadly, his grades are always lacking. One day he overhears some students talking about Yusung Technical High School. It is supposedly the best school to attend if you want to pass your college exams. Jiamin transfers to Yusung Technical High School without thinking twice, but turns out he was misinformed. Yusung Technical High School is more like a living hell with bullies in every corner. The discipline leaves a lot to be desired, and even the teachers have given up on the students. The students walk around, barely wearing the right uniform, smoking and being a menace. However, Jiamin refuses to give up and approaches one of the most sensible-looking students, Kim Se-hyun. He asks Se-hyun to join his study group, but before the latter can answer, a fight breaks out. One of the students starts a fight with Se-hyun and beats him to a pulp as the others watch. There is an online ranking system among the students, and they must fight to rise within the ranks. The discipline chief breaks up the fight and introduces the new temporary teacher, Miss Han Jae-young. As expected, the students pay no attention or respect to her. Another fight breaks when she is taking attendance. The toughest class bully starts it, and the students' behavior shocks Han Jae-young. Later, during a break, Jaemin and Han Jae-young catch up. It turns out that Han Jae-young used to be Jaemin's tutor. Unfortunately, something happened, and she stopped tutoring him. Jaemin worries she will quit because of the school's indiscipline issues, but she promises she won't. He then shares his plan to do better in his studies. For the best part of the week, Jaemin follows Se-hyun like a lost puppy. Finally, Se-hyun breaks and agrees to help Jaemin with a few mathematical equations. As they talk, Se-hyun worries about Jaemin's academic abilities. Still, Jaemin remains optimistic he can do well. Jaemin's innocence surprises Se-hyun and how he has no idea who is in charge. He explains that the son of a mafia gang leader who attends the school runs their school. His name is Pai Han-ui, and he started the ranking system. He is also the best student at the school, and Se-hyun refuses to join Jaemin's study group for fear of crossing Pai Han-ui's path. Meanwhile, Han Jae-young tries to talk to the principal about the students' smoking culture, but he ignores her. The next day, the class bully beats Se-hyun to a pulp after Se-hyun accidentally ran into him. Han Jae-young witnesses the beating and tries to help. Fortunately, Jaemin stops her and offers to go on her behalf. He puts on a mask and uses the fire extinguisher to distract the bullies and take Se-hyun away. Unfortunately, Se-hyun is not pleased since Jaemin only made things worse. Now, the bullies will come after him with more vengeance. True to Se-hyun's words, the bully immediately comes after him. This time, he demands to know the identity of the guy in a mask. Once again, Jaemin intervenes and gives the bully a blackout. With the bully passed out, Se-hyun confronts Jaemin again. He refuses to join Jaemin's study group and asks why Jaemin is wearing a mask if he is confident. Sadly, Se-hyun doesn't have a happy home life. His dad is an alcoholic who wants him to drop his studies and do welding training. He is abusive and doesn't care that Se-hyun wants to study and join a good college. The dad even forced Se-hyun to throw out all his notebooks. By contrast, Jaemin has a supportive mom, but he feels disheartened by his academic results. He tries his best every time, but nothing changes. No one even wants him in their study group. This is why the study group is a big deal to Jaemin. He has been training hard psychically because he wants his body to be as strong as his mind. The following day at school, Han Jae-young is surprised when she sees the discipline chief trying to get rid of the smoking drums. She is disappointed when she learns that there is an inspector visit and the principal is trying to save face. The discipline chief asks her to hide the drums, and a new student, Jeon Yeep, helps her. He asks why they can't let the inspector see how bad the school is, but sadly, Han Jae-young feels she is not in a position to do so just yet. Back in the classroom, Jaemin is touched when Se-hyun gives him one of his detailed notebooks. Simultaneously, Hyun-woo figures out that Jaemin is the masked guy and starts a fight. The fight quickly intensifies as Hyun-woo kicks out all the other students and burns the notebook, nearly causing a fire. Watching the notebook burn pisses Jaemin off, and he beats Hyun-woo to a pulp. He tries to make Hyun-woo apologize to Se-hyun, but the poor lad passes out from the severe beating. Se-hyun is shocked to see Jaemin so worked up over a book. He is touched and agrees to join Jaemin's study group. Han Jae-young rushes to the class to see what the fracas is all about. Upon entering, she discovers a burning bag, Hyun-woo unconscious, and Jaemin standing over him. She swiftly extinguishes the flames as the inspector and principal arrive. They all assume Jaemin is the culprit and call him in. White Gammon waits for the inspector and principal. Se-hyun sneaks into the room and thanks him. Later, things take a turn for Hyun-woo when Pai Han-ui brings him to the rooftop. Back in the office, the principal moves to expel Jaemin, but Han Jae-young defends him. She mentions that he is the victim and thinks it is unfair that Jaemin had to resort to violence to save himself. She calls out the principal in front of the inspector, causing him to feel embarrassed. The inspector finally remembers where he had seen Han Jae-young before. He informs the principal that Han Jae-young was last year's top performer in the teacher recruitment exam. However, she didn't register and was disqualified. The inspector is keen to see if she can change the school and gives her a chance. Han Jae-young mentions that she will help the students start a study group, and the inspector agrees it is a good idea. The next morning, Jaemin secretly works out before heading to school. After the incident, he and Se-hyun grow close and start looking for people to join their study group. The principal is out to get Han Jae-young and wants the idea to fail. He gives Han Jae-young 2 weeks to form a group. Han Jae-young meets with Se-hyun and Jaemin and tries to encourage them to recruit other students. The two start putting up posters around the school, but the ridiculous rumors about Jaemin curtail their efforts. Following the fight with Hyun-woo, Jaemin has sort of become a feared legend among the students. Many students think Jaemin will bully them into joining the study group. Most students are avoiding him and don't want to incur Pai Han-ui's anger. As the week goes by, Jaemin randomly meets Jeon-yob and invites him to his study group. Unfortunately, Jeon-yob turns him down and asks why Jaemin is trying to cause trouble for those close to him. As the days go by, Jaemin and Se-hyun start getting discouraged by the lack of response. Simultaneously, Han Jae-young grows worried about Hyun-woo, who has been missing school since the fight. She tries to track him down but fails. One evening after classes, Han Jae-young invites Jaemin and Se-hyun to lift their spirits. She buys them books, pens, and food and gets to know them better. After sharing dessert, they each go their separate ways. But Jaemin realizes he accidentally left his new book in Han Jae-young's bag. In the meantime, Han Jae-young returns home to find Hyun-woo and his gang broke into her house. Hyun-woo starts rambling about Han Jae-young crossing the wrong people at school. It turns out that someone ordered Hyun-woo to attack Han Jae-young and teach her a lesson. As she tries to reason with Hyun-woo, she gets a call from Jaemin. Unfortunately, Hyun-woo hits the phone from her hand, and Han Jae-young is unable to pick it up. Just when Hyun-woo is about to pounce, Jeon-yob arrives and tries to save Han Jae-young. The two hide in the parking lot, but unfortunately, Hyun-woo and his gang find them. Once again, Han Jae-young tries to reason with Hyun-woo and ends up getting hit. Jeon-yun tries his best to fight the group, but he is overpowered. Fortunately, Jaemin suddenly shows up and takes on the group like the fighting pro that he is. Upon seeing that Jaemin is too strong, the gang starts to flee. However, Hyun-woo tries to stab Jaemin, and Jeon-yob stops him. Hyun-woo starts teasing him about how his mom died, and Jeon-yob loses it. He attacks Hyun-woo with a renewed vengeance, demanding to know what he knows about his mom's death. Jaemin stops Jeon-yob and is shocked when the latter mentions that Pai Han-ui had something to do with Jeon-yob's mom's death. Before leaving, Jeon-yob warns Han Jae-young to be careful as no one can stand against Pai Han-ui at the school. He also cautions Jaemin about his study group idea. After the incident, Han Jae-young gives Jaemin the book he forgot in her bag. She goes back to her apartment and thinks of calling the police. As she is about to make the call, one of Hyun-woo's gang members knocks on her door to apologize. He explains that he is under threat and has no choice. The next day at school, Se-hyun and Jaemin continue to feel down as no one is signing up for the study group. We see them getting one application from a girl. Surprisingly, Yusung Technical High School is a co-ed school. Han Jae-young asks someone about Pai Han-ui, but she is warned to stop looking into him. According to her reluctant source, looking into Pai Han-ui can lead to her death. Surprisingly, Pai Han-ui decides to show up before Han Jae-young. Meanwhile, Jaemin and Se-hyun embark on their quest to find out who Ji-woo is and why she wants to join the study group. It turns out that Ji-woo is Hyun-woo's twin sister but didn't apply for the study group. Her best friend, Hee-won, did this to protect Ji-woo from the bullies. Unfortunately, A guy named Eugene took a video of Hyun-woo robbing a store and has been using it to threaten Ji-woo into submission. Eugene also lied to Hyun-woo, robbed him, and set him up with a loan. At the time, Hyun-woo thought he was robbed and went to Eugene to ask for a loan, not knowing that Eugene was the robber. After spotting Ji-woo and witnessing firsthand how Eugene and his girlfriend are bullying her, Jaemin is forced to intervene. Of course, Hee-won also begs him for his help and assures him that Ji-woo will join the study group if her bullies are dealt with. To help Ji-woo, Jaemin embarks on a high-risk mission at the disciplinary committee. According to Se-hyun, the disciplinary committee is more like a school-sanctioned mafia group. No one dares to cross them, and Se-hyun worries that Jaemin is on a death mission. Still, he agrees to help. Jaemin sneaks into the disciplinary committee office and finds two other boys looking for the blackmail video. Eugene finds the two nosy boys and beats them up before deciding to finally upload the video online. Hearing this forces Jaemin to take action. He comes out from his hiding spot and fights to get to the USB. He tricks Eugene into thinking he is stronger and takes a few punches to get the USB. Once he secures the USB, he beats Eugene and takes his leave. Unfortunately, the other members of the disciplinary committee arrive before Jaemin can leave. Another intense fight ensues, and Se-hyun and Hee-won worry that Jaemin is overpowered. As Jaemin deals with the disciplinary committee members, Hee-won and Se-hyun try to come up with a way to help. Ji-woo overhears them and is pissed that no one told her what was happening. She has been laying low for the sake of her brother, but she is done playing weak. Elsewhere, Han Jae-young meets with Pai Han-ui and tries to convince him to let Hyun-woo go. As expected, Pai Han-ui refuses to accept any blame and warns Han Jae-young to let things go. However, Han Jae-young refuses to back down, which Pai Han-ui finds interesting. Back at the disciplinary committee, Eugene realizes that the video was already uploaded to his hard drive and moves to upload it. To stop him, Jaemin steals the hard drive and starts running. Se-hyun and Hee-won follow closely behind him, wondering what he is up to. Of course, Eugene and his boys also chase after them. Jaemin trips on the wires, and the hard drive falls right under Se-hyun's feet. Se-hyun takes the hard drive and runs to the rooftop. He manages to destroy the hard drive by throwing it from the rooftop. Unfortunately, Eugene catches up to him, but Ji-woo intervenes and gives Eugene a beating of a lifetime. Meanwhile, Jaemin accidentally drops the USB, and Hee-won tries to get to it. However, Mihi, one of the bullies, gets to it first. This time, Hee-won refuses to be bullied and attacks Mihi to retrieve the USB. Unfortunately, their success is short-lived since Hyun-woo arrives after hearing from Pai Han-ui how Eugene played him. Pai Han-ui gave Hyun-woo a knife and encouraged him to kill Eugene. Hyun-woo arrives at the school determined to kill Eugene, but Han Jae-young intervenes and gets stabbed. Before passing out, Han Jae-young promises to help Hyun-woo. The students are all shocked as they watch the incident unfold. Jaemin rushes to Han Jae-young and takes her to the hospital. After the surgery, Han Jae-young welcomes Ji-woo and Hee-won to the study group. Ji-woo feels sad about her brother as they have always depended on each other, but understands he did something wrong. The following day, Jaemin and the study group members start their first meeting. Jaemin is excited. In the meantime, the police bring Pai Han-ui in for questioning. However, they don't keep him for too long. Tae-oh declares war on Jaemin after hearing about his legendary fights. Initially, Jaemin is not interested until Tae-oh's boys bring Lee-jun. Lee-jun is hoping to join the study group, but Tae-oh tears his application letter. Angered, Jaemin jumps from the window of the third-floor classroom and safely lands a blackout punch on Tae-oh. We see a background story on Lee-jun. He joined Yusung Technical High School because he wanted to be good at fighting. He has always wanted to repay an elderly friend of his who protected him when he was a kid. Unfortunately, the friend later joined the gang and pushed Lee-jun away. Ironically, he is really bad at it. His reason for joining the study group is because he wants to learn how to fight from Jaemin. However, Jaemin refuses to let him into the group unless he agrees to study. To show his sincerity, Lee-jun agrees to take a math test while the others visit Han Jae-young at the hospital. As Lee-jun does the test, another man approaches him and asks if he is Jaemin. Lee-jun lies that he is indeed Jaemin and is taken away. The man, Jang Ho, takes him to a secluded warehouse and promises to give him a car if he passes the Yeonbaek gang test. As expected, Lee-jun fails miserably. Jaemin and the group return to the school and find Lee-jun gone. They look at his test and realize he did well, but wonder where he is. Jeon-yob arrives and informs them that Lee Jun was taken by the gang. Jaemin, Jeon-yob, and Ji-woo rush to the warehouse to save Lee Jun, while Se-hyun and Hee-won head to the police station to report the matter. Jaemin and the others arrive to find Jang-ho beating Lee Jun for lying about his identity and failing the test. Another intense fight ensues, and once again, Jaemin tricks Jang-ho into thinking he is more powerful. Seeing Jaemin getting beaten causes Ji-woo to worry they might be in over their heads. However, at the opportune moment, Jaemin reveals his secret strategy and beats Jang-ho to a pulp. Simultaneously, Detective Taeman starts to suspect corruption at the police station. He questions why Pai Han-ui was quickly let go without an interrogation, but his superior asks him to look away. Detective Taeman also worries that Han Jae-young might be in serious trouble. It seems like he knows what happened to her a year ago. After Hee-won and Se-hyun report Lee Jun's incident, the police rush over to arrest Jang-ho and his men. Taeman gives the students his card and advises them to call him if they get in trouble again. However, Jeon-yob leaves to chase after one of the gang members who left after mentioning his mother's death. As the situation at the school escalates, Pai Han-ui continues to plan how to stir things up some more. Meanwhile, the study group sets up their messaging group and welcomes Lee Jun. As the days go by, they start their study group sessions and continue to support each other. After her recovery, Han Jae-young returns to the school and meets with the principal. She calls him out for overlooking Pai Han-ui's involvement and writes an official report on it. Later, she meets with the study group students and informs them of an upcoming trip to a different school. She hopes the students will learn more about how to operate a study group and is taking them to visit a school in Seoul. Excited, the students put on their best clothes and met on the day of the trip. Unfortunately, Jaemin is late, and Ji-woo accidentally sends him the wrong name of the school. Pai Han-ui and his sidekick, Min-hwan, beats Kong Dong-soo's gang after they disappointed them. It seems Pai Han-ui is gunning for his dad and is setting his plans, ready to take over the family business in due time. Meanwhile, the study group is still in Seoul, meeting with the top students at Manal High School. Unfortunately, Ji-woo accidentally texted Jaemin the wrong address, and he went to the neighboring school, Monik High School. At the same time, the students at Manal reveal that they are being bullied by the students from their neighboring school. They are worried that one of their own, Junmin, is late since he is getting tortured by the bullies. As it turns out, they were right. Junmin is getting a bloody beating by the Monik bullies. By the time Se-hyun and Ji-woo call Jaemin to tell him the right address, he is already handling the bullies at Monik. He beats them to a pulp and rescues Junmin. After a rough start, the students finally get to studying and have a great time. While they are saying their goodbyes, Junmin apologizes and thanks Jaemin. It turns out that Junmin was one of the students at Jaemin's former school. He used to do well and he refused to let Jaemin into his study group. Looking back, he regrets being mean to Jaemin and encourages him to keep trying. His encouraging words move Gamin to tears. Meanwhile, Han Jae-young tells Woo Yeol, Manal's teacher, that she is staying at Yusung Technical High because she has something she must accomplish there. The next day, the study group returns to Yusung Technical High School. They are surprised to see that the principal gave them an old, dirty room for their club. However, Jaemin's enthusiasm motivates them to clean it up and make it decent. After cleaning, another bully, Homin, shows up and berates the study group. Thankfully, the study group students don't take the bait and, on the other hand, Han Jae-young meets with the deputy principal and suggests they call a meeting with the disciplinary committee and discuss Pai Han-ui's punishment. Of course, the deputy principal is not for the idea. He challenges Han Jae-young to raise the study group students' marks by 10 points if she wants him to risk his life to punish Pai Han-ui. Han Jae-young agrees to the deal, and Lee Jun overhears the conversation. After she meets with the deputy principal, Han Jae-young meets with the study group and shows them their placement rankings. It comes as no surprise that Jaemin is the second last at the school, but he is determined to improve. Later, on their way home, Lee Jun tells the others about Han Jae-young's conversation with the deputy principal. They all start feeling the pressure, but Se-hyun gets a message and his whole demeanor changes. He rushes off saying he has a meeting. It turns out that his dad ordered him to get to the construction site immediately after school. As always, his dad doesn't want him to study. In a flashback, we see a young Se-hyun rushing home to share his good news of passing the exam with his parents. He arrives home to find his parents fighting while the neighbors listen outside. His dad was angry that his wife took out a loan, and the debtors were after them. Presently, Se-hyun runs into Hee-won on his way to the site. They start talking, and she encourages Se-hyun by mentioning how impressive he is. As they walk, they stumble upon Ho-min and his bully friends. Once again, they start beating Se-hyun and Hee-won. Jae-min suddenly shows up and defends his friends. Unfortunately, Se-hyun is hurt that he can't defend himself and relies on Jae-min's help again. Se-hyun walks home and finds his angry dad waiting. He gets another beating, but this time he stands up to his dad and walks out. He is surprised to see Jae-min waiting for him. Jae-min offers to host him at his house, but Se-hyun refuses. He explains to Jae-min that as much as he is grateful, he wants to at least win a fight by himself. He feels helpless and hates that he seems weak. Jae-min takes a taxi back home, thinking about Se-hyun's words. That night, Se-hyun encounters Ho-min by chance while out for a walk. Luckily, Jae-min changes his mind about going home and calls Se-hyun when he sees Ho-min approaching. He helps Se-hyun by coaching him through the call on how to dodge the punches. Sadly, Jae-min's phone dies in the middle of the fight, and Se-hyun is left to fend for himself. Surprisingly, Se-hyun manages to give Ho-min a blackout without Jae-min's help. Pi-han Ui listens to some music when Min-hwan shows up. The two start talking about their group. No reason. It is a group supposed to help the voiceless, but we all know they aren't doing that. Min-hwan starts talking about a client and making diabolical plans to solve the issue. Meanwhile, Jae-min takes Se-hyun home, and his mom is not happy that Jae-min is late. She asks him to prepare to transfer schools, and Jae-min starts stressing. Se-hyun thinks that Jae-min's mom is not serious, but Jae-min assures him that she is. His mom has always done what she says. Before they sleep, Jae-min's mom gives him a list of new schools to pick from. As the night deepens, Jae-min tells Se-hyun he doesn't regret saving him, even though he missed his curfew. Se-hyun tries to ask why Jae-min is so determined to study even though his mom doesn't care about grades and they are rich. Jae-min shares that it feels worse when no one has expectations for him. In a flashback, we see a young Jae-min being bombarded by the media, asking if he will follow his genius dad's footsteps. Later, a young Jae-min overheard his mom talking to his dad about not pressuring Jae-min to be a genius like him. The next day, Jae-min and his mom show up to talk to the principal about his transfer. The other students from the study group watch from the window. They realize that because of his low grades, Jae-min will not be able to transfer easily. However, Jae-min's mom mentions they will have to relocate to Seoul to get Jae-min a new school. The students try to give Jae-min's mom a good impression of their school, but the lady is not moved. The students try to buy more time for Han Jae-young to arrive and talk to Jae-min's mom. Unfortunately, Jae-min's mom has decided, and their pleas don't move her. She leaves just as Han Jae-young pulls up in a taxi. Han Jae-young encourages the kids not to give up and borrow a car. She, accompanied by the kids, embarks on a high-speed car chase to reach Jae-min's mother on time. However, Ho-min and his cohorts abruptly stop the car chase when they cut them off with their motorbikes, causing a traffic jam. Another fight ensues as Ji-woo and Lee-jun take on the bullies. Lee-jun opts to stay back and fight while the others hurry to stop Jae-min's mom from signing a lease for a house in Seoul. Fortunately, they make it in time, and Han Jae-young reintroduces herself to Jae-min's mom. It turns out that Han Jae-young was affected by the death of a teacher at Yusung Technical High School. She and Jae-min's mom both knew the woman, and Jae-min's mom encouraged Han Jae-young to fight for justice. Elsewhere, Min-hwan informs Pi-han Ui that Han Jae-young is looking to call a disciplinary committee to look into him. Min-hwan asks Pi-han Ui if he should take care of it just like last time. He is probably implying to Jeon-yob's mom and Han Jae-young's role model. The scene cuts to Mi-hwan arriving at the cafe shop where the study group, Han Jae-young, and Jae-min's mom are talking. Jae-min's mom still thinks it would be wise to transfer her son to another school. Min-hwan interrupts the meeting, and another fight starts. This time, Jae-min's mom steps in. She is the director of the Korea Taekwondo Association and can fight. Sadly, she is injured when a beam hits her head when she is protecting Han Jae-young. The following day, Jae-min makes his way to school with only revenge on his mind. He finds Pi-han Ui on his favorite rooftop and tries to launch a sudden attack. 3 of Pi-han Ui's bodyguards block Jae-min's attack, and things get interesting. In the first part, Jae-min takes a beating as he lets his emotions get the best of him. However, after he calms down, he beats the 3 bodyguards and makes his way to the school assembly. He finds Pi-han Ui and punches him across the face as everyone watches in horror and fascination. Jae-min turns to look at Pi-han Ui, but he is mentally questioning if everything that has happened is his fault. Meanwhile, students at the assembly and the vice principal notify the students that their school will be under inspection. The school's reputation is at stake, and according to the man, Han Jiang is to blame. He calls her forth to give a speech, and she sticks to her gun and makes it known she won't back down. She mentions her role model as the scene cuts to a flashback of her having dinner with Yonghua and being at her funeral. While Han Jiang is talking, Gamin storms in and punches Pai Han Yui. In turn, Pai Han Yui strikes him in the face. Everyone is shocked, and the legend of Jiamin grows. On the rooftop, Sun Chul and the other guards get into an argument. Meanwhile, Pai Han Yui makes a plan to get Sun Chul in trouble and see if Han Jiang will save him. He calls Song Wang to set things up. In the meantime, Sun Chul visits his grandfather at the hospital to hang out. His grandfather is hoping Sun Chul will change his ways. Unfortunately, Sun Chul is in the gang to earn enough money to pay his grandfather's hospital bill. He is already lagging and needs money. While at the hospital, he runs into Jiamin, who is there to see his mom. The two get talking, and Jiamin tries to encourage Sun Chul to join his study group. As they talk, Sun Chul gets a warning call from Dae Chul that the gang members are coming for him. Two gang members arrive at the hospital to pick up Sun Chul, and Jiamin is forced to stand down as they take Sun Chul away. Sun Chul leaves his phone behind, and Jiamin picks up when his grandfather calls. Jiamin decides to spend some time with grandfather to help him study for his English test. Grandfather believes in growing by learning and asks Jiamin to help Sun Chul. The next day, news of a murder dominates local airwaves, with Sun Chul emerging as the prime suspect. Jiamin tells the detective everything except that the gang members told Sun Chul he had a long night ahead. As the day progresses, Jiamin and the others question if Sun Chul is capable of murder. The following day, Se Hyan delivers a presentation on the alarming increase in minors committing serious crimes that began after Pai Han Yui's appearance. He believes the gang is using minors to commit crimes and promising them a future with the company if they take the fall. Later in the night, Dae Chul approaches Jiamin and asks for help. Another gang member attacks Dae Chul, and Jiamin intervenes. Dae Chul confesses that he saw Song Wang cleaning the murder weapon. The following morning, Jiamin shares the information with the study group, and they agree to help Sun Chul. That night, Jiamin, Ji Woo, and Li Jun sneak into the gang headquarters. Se Hyan and He Won remain behind to keep watch. Unfortunately, the group is separated, and Ji Woo ends up in an office, looking for the knife. Jiamin ends up hiding on the rooftop, while Li Jun stays behind to fight a gang member. Downstairs, Pai Han Yui and his gang officials start the backup fighters meeting. Pai Han Yui announces that Sun Chul has officially joined the family and gives him a bag full of money. He encourages the other members to do as well as Sun Chul. Detective Na arrives to arrest Sun Chul and is shocked when the latter confesses in front of the entire gang. Upstairs, Ji Woo manages to find the knife used in the murder but is discovered by Sian Ho, one of the gang members. On the rooftop, Jiamin struggles to break the locked door and get back to the team. Dae Chul and Min Chul watch over Sun Chul's grandfather at the hospital. Dae Chul feels anxious since Jiamin and the others are yet to report back. They decide to run to the headquarters and check what is going on. They figure that they should be more helpful instead of waiting around. Back at the headquarters, Li Jun fights with a gang member and Sian Ho, and Jae Sung corner Ji Woo. She is overpowered and faints from a hard hit on the head. Sian Ho takes her and the knife to his car. He asks Jae Hyung to send the backup fighters home. Simultaneously, Pai Han Yui leaves the building, clueless about the infiltration. Meanwhile, Han Jiang calls Jiamin, thinking he is studying at home. She wants to talk to him about an issue with the revision papers she gave him. As Jiamin opens his backpack, a notebook falls, and he notices Sian Ho putting Ji Woo in his car. He abruptly ends the call and tries to open the locked door. On the other hand, Min Hwan shoots down He Won's drone, causing the team to lose all contact with each other. Elsewhere, Detective Na packs his car nearby and tries to talk some sense into Sun Chul. He knows Sun Chul is innocent, but he can't do much if the boy confesses. Sun Chul is determined to keep his promise to Pai Han Yui as it is the quickest way to get money. He needs the money for his grandfather, and Pai Han Yui offers to get him good lawyers. However, as he talks to Detective Na, he changes his mind. He decides to be the good man his grandfather has been begging him to become. Before Sian Ho leaves, Sun Chul attacks him, and Ji Woo regains consciousness. She tries to help Sun Chul, but they are no match for him. He manages to quickly take them down. It is at this point that Min Chul and Dae Chul arrive, but Seon-ho is too strong for them. Luckily, Jimin finally breaks free and arrives to save the day. With the evidence, Detective Na arrests the real culprit, Song-won. Simultaneously, Jimin convinces Sun-chul to join him in the study group. A few days later, Sun-chul returns to school, and the study group focuses on studying for their midterm exams. After the exam, Jimin starts stressing over whether he got the questions right. The others excitedly talk about the questions, happy they are done with the exams. Meanwhile, Sun-chul enrolls for the reformation programmer at the police station. The rest of the study group decides to go out for some fun. Jaemin's mom calls Han Jae-young when she can't reach Jimin. She is worried that Jimin will be too stressed out and fail to control his powers. Jimin gets depressed after finishing his exams. However, this time, Se-hyun cheers him up by encouraging him. As they eat, they get a call from Dae-chul, who is looking for Sun-chul. It turns out grandfather's condition has gotten worse. They all rush to the hospital, but Sun-chul is not there yet. Sadly, he was waylaid by his angry ex-gang members. As they wait for Sun-chul, Jimin keeps grandfather busy by helping him do his last test. This buys Sun-chul more time to arrive. Fortunately, he makes it in time to say goodbye to his grandfather, who passes soon after. A few days later, the students get their report cards and everyone, including Jimin, improved by 10 points. Han Jae-young visits the Dean of Academic Affairs and reminds him of his promise to hold a disciplinary committee for Pai-han Ui. With no reason to deny Han Jae-young, he signs the papers. All the students are shocked to see the announcement the following day. The study group confronts Pai-han Ui to see what he will do next. However, Pai-han Ui has a plan to wreak havoc by inciting the students against each other. The students ends up fighting each other while Pai-han Ui watches from the sideline. In a flashback to a year ago when Yoonghwa was killed after calling for a disciplinary committee to look into Min-hwan and Pai-han Ui. Unfortunately, she died protecting her son, Jae-yob, who was also stabbed. It also turns out that Pai-han Ui's dad knew about Pai-han Ui's behavior but chose to look the other way. Honestly, not surprising at all. Following Yoonghwa's death, the disciplinary committee was cancelled. One of Yeonbaek's gang members took the fall for the murder, and Pai-han Ui launched his ranking app at school. Presently, the study group confronts Pai-han Ui to see if he is shaken by the upcoming disciplinary committee. They assume that things have cooled down thanks to the disciplinary meeting and raise their hopes. Meanwhile, Han Jae-young meets with Jae-yob and apologizes for not recognizing him sooner. Jae-yob tries to warn her to give up, but she refuses. Elsewhere, the deputy principal fills in Pai-han Ui's dad on the situation. He is pessimistic that the disciplinary committee can be stopped, but Pai-han Ui assures his dad that he has things under control. It turns out he plans to tarnish the study group's reputation by releasing footage of the fighting scene at the Yeonbaek capital. The media reports that the study group is a gang that tried to steal something from the company. YouTubers start to hound the students to get more information on the school gang. In the meantime, the deputy principal uses this opportunity to file for a disciplinary committee for Jaemin. He threatens to get Jaemin expelled if Han Jae-young doesn't cancel the meeting regarding Pai-han Ui. Although shaken, Han Jae-young asks Jaemin and the others to stand down and avoid being provoked. This proves to be a hard task when Pai-han Ui announces that anyone who destabilizes the ranking will win 1,000,000 won. The students break into a fight and try to provoke the members of the study group. At the same time, Min-hwan and Pai-han Ui threaten the group and destroy their study room. Se-hyun starts losing hope and promises his dad to quit school and join the construction crew. Thankfully, Jimin refuses to give up on him and follows him to the construction site until he agrees to rejoin the study group. After this, they assemble the other members, starting with Hee-won, and regain their fighting spirits. Concurrently, Han Jae-young refuses to call off the disciplinary committee and promises to save the study group's reputation. This catches the deputy principal off guard as he thought he had Han Jae-young cornered. The study group meets to discuss how Pai-han Ui has to face the disciplinary committee. Sun-chul advises them to be careful of Pai-han Ui as he was linked to Yoonghwa's death. He is certain that Pai-han Ui killed the former teacher to avoid appearing before the disciplinary committee. The study group decides to develop a plan to safeguard Han Jae-young while allowing the disciplinary committee to happen. As the disciplinary committee meeting nears, she meets with Detective Na, who worries he can't protect her. The night before the meeting, the deputy principal calls and lures Han Jae-young to the school. He acts remorseful and claims he has information regarding the school and Yeonbaek Foundation. Han Jae-young agrees to meet with him, but she discusses it with Detective Na first. They set up a recording device on her coat, and she also records the deputy principal's confession on her phone. As we suspected, the deputy principal was too scared to turn against Pai Han Yui's dad. After his confession, the lights go off, and the deputy principal runs away, leaving Han Jiang alone in the dark. Unfortunately, this was a setup, and Pai Han Yui, his loyal sidekick Min Huan, and others show up. Min Huan moves to confiscate Han Jiang's phone but misses the recording device on her coat. The device pretty much catches Pai Han Yui confessing to being involved with Yunghwa's death. He also informs her that Detective Na has been handled, and he won't be coming to her rescue. Han Jiang is about to lose all hope when the study group arrives to save the day. Jae-min orders Li Jun to take Han Jiang away, and the other remains behind to fight the gang in different parts of the school. Se-hyun takes on Min Huan in a brave, calculated move, but he is beaten up pretty hard at first. Sun Chul sadly gets his arm broken but still manages to fight side by side with Ji Woo. They are so cool. Sadly, Li Jun is confronted by his childhood friend, Anti, and is injured pretty badly. His fight with Anto was as emotional as you can imagine. To have to fight a close friend and role model is not easy. Lastly, our boy, Jae-min, takes on Pai Han Yui in their much-anticipated showdown. At first, Jae-min holds back in hopes of buying more time for Han Jiang. However, he loses it when Pai Han Yui reveals he brought his whole gang to go after the teacher. Han Jiang reaches the gate only to find a group of gang members waiting for her. This is when Hee-won comes through like the last-minute queen she is. She mobilizes the help of Gyujin, and all those Jae-min help to rescue Han Jiang. Meanwhile, back inside the building, Jae-min is putting up one hell of a fight against Pai Han Yui. It is a close call as Pai Han Yui is almost as strong as him. In the end, Jae-min gets one of his legs broken, but he beats Pai Han Yui to a pulp and promises him that he will change the school. After a charged and intense fight, the disciplinary committee meeting happens the next day. Pai Han Yui is officially expelled, and Detective Na arrests him concerning Yunghwa's murder. Pai Han Yui challenges Jae-min to try the school, as he is led away by the police. Pai Han Yui's dad orders the lawyer to handle the case, but we don't see what happens in his case. After Pai Han Yui's arrest, the students delete his ranking app, and some order is restored at school. Thankfully, the police also arrested the deputy principal and cleared the study group's name. Hyun-woo and Ji-woo also reunite after his release. Meanwhile, Jeon Hyub gets an intern position at Yeonbaek Capital. On the other hand, the study group continues to flourish and cherish the opportunity to have dreams under Han Jiang's guidance. However, in the final closing scene, she resigns.